So my last question to you, if you're not, who are your top 5 on our current 49er team that have actually, who are the top 5 this season performance-wise? Who would you rate at the top 5?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the Niners depth chart here just to make sure I got my ducks in a row. I don't want to miss anyone who's been balling out. Okay, let's start at 5, and we got to start with the biggest surprise on the O-line, in my opinion. Someone who's played really well, and I'm looking at the left guard, Aaron Banks.
Yeah.
He was the highest graded performer per PFF last week against the Chiefs. Aaron Banks. The thing is with O-line, Daryl, is if you don't see them getting beat and manhandled, then in my opinion,
they're doing even many penalties.
And the penalties. So it's like
if
you're not noticing anything negative, that means the offensive line is doing good. And it's like Banks, I haven't been shaking my head like McGlinchey this past game. I'm saying, damn it, McGlinchey, what are you doing? But Banks has played really well. So I'm gonna put Banks in there at 5. All right, next up, I'm gonna go with the trade man himself and Jeff Wilson at number 4. I think Jeff Wilson has played well up until this part. I don't think we would even have 3 wins on the season if it weren't for how Jeff Wilson has filled in. All right, so I'll put him in at 4. Okay, at 3, I'm gonna go BA, Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah,
I thought, and Ayuk's a guy who I've been a bit critical on. You know, before the year, I felt like a lot of fans and media were dubbing Brandon Ayuk like a stud number 1 wide receiver before the year even started, and I was pushing back a little bit. I was saying, hey, you know what? He's got to prove it to me. He hasn't even had a 1,000-yard season yet, and he's starting to prove it to me. I've been impressed with what I've seen from Brandon Ayuk, especially these last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'll put BA in there 3rd. And I mean Talanoa Hufanga, is he number 1? Is he not? No, you know what? I'm not going Hufanga 2. I'm not going Hufanga 2. I'm gonna go Nick Bosa. He missed a game, but Bosa has still been phenomenal.
Yeah. And
I mean Nick he's a great player. Although I was kind of disappointed last week against the Chiefs that the Chiefs. McCole Hardman had 3 touchdown passes on the same play, Daryl, on these Jets.
But he did sack. But he did get the sack, so that he did sack Patrick.
Yeah, but there was one that Hardman ran right in front of him, and it was like, Bosa, dude, you couldn't make the play. It's like that might be nitpicking, right? Because you can't make the perfect play every time. Sometimes it is going to get past you. But that was just one play I wanted a little more out of Nick Bosa. Like, man, get that tackle for loss to stop that touchdown. But overall, Nick Bosa, phenomenal. And then number 1, I mean, Talanoa Hufanga, man. This guy, he's playing at a Pro Bowl level. He's flying around, making plays all over the field, tackles for loss, interceptions.
He's the bright spark of the season. You missed out somebody, right, who could have made that list. But he had a bad game last week. But other than that, he's been really, really good.
Let me see. Can I figure it out? I
mean, other than that, it was like, wow. But then I suppose Mosley got injured, so maybe it was because it was the 2 of them. But
who did I leave off? Tell me. Who did I leave off?
Moody Ward. He's been outstanding apart from that last game, hasn't he?
Yeah. He has been. I think I got a bad taste in my mouth.
Maybe it was the 2 of them. Maybe it's just come to the whole sort of cornerbacks gone to pieces because of Mosley.
Well, and I think he was a little dinged up last week, Daryl. Right?
Hey,
he had the groin injury. He has, but he was bad last week though. So I think I got a bad taste in my mouth. Marquez Valdez-Scantling burned him for a couple big plays.
Okay, before I go, you got to tell me the 5 that you're most disappointed with. This is and you have to be completely honest. You have to tell me I'm really disappointed with the season so far.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling